Hey, my name is Brian, and this is actually my first video on YouTube ever. Um, but I saw your video, and I thought this needed a response. Normally, I do not respond to people on YouTube, but I saw the way you are when you expressed yourself when you were asking your question, and I saw the respect. So I thought let's make an exception, and you can hear in my accent that I'm not from America or from England or any other English-speaking country. I'm from Holland, so don't mind my English, please, and just look through it. If I understand your question correctly, you wanted to know why Jehovah Witnesses don't talk much about the coming of Christ, but more about, let's say, the end of the world or paradise. First of all, we do talk about the coming of Christ. It's a very big thing for us. So when we are in the Kingdom Hall, when we are on conventions, when we are talking with each other, most of the time it's about the coming of Christ, or that Christ has already come, of course, 1940. So it is a very big issue. First of all, because of the coming of Christ, God's kingdom can come, what will take care of paradise and the end of the world. And in this case, world should not be taken literally, and that God kingdom will come. You can read Matthew 6 verse 10 or Revelation 12 verse 10. Um, so in a way, when we talk with people about God's kingdom and God or Jesus, we're talking about the coming of Christ, because that's the thing, the big issue right now. But when you go from door to door, although we get good responses, because a lot of people are talking with Jehovah Witnesses and studying with them all over the world, I'm talking about millions, there are a lot of negative reactions when we talk about the disturbing world, and that peace is in all kinds of way, not only war nowadays, further away than ever. Read Matthew 24 for all the signs. So if people are laughing and making fun of us while the world is symbolically and literally going down, and that's what we expect people to do actually. Read Matthew 24, verse 37 and 39, why we expect that. Uh, we are not even going to talk with them about the coming of Christ, because that would be ridiculous. They laugh about that it's not going good in the world, and they laugh, oh, it's okay. So we're not going to talk with them about the coming of Christ. Besides that, you need a lot of biblical knowledge if you want to talk about or want to understand the coming of Christ related to 1914. Uh, it all starts with the book Daniel, the book Revelation, the calculations, and several prophecies. For example, just look up Daniel 9, verse 24 and 27, Daniel 12, verse 1 through 4, and Daniel 12, verse 10 through 13. Even Daniel did not understand what he wrote down, but God told him that it was not for him, he should only write it down, for the people who were living in the last days, so us. Look up Daniel 12, verse 8 through 9. So if a righteous man, a God-fearing man like Daniel did not understand what he wrote down, do you really think that the common people nowadays, when we go from door to door, will understand if we're talking about the coming of Christ in 1914? I think uh, you and me can agree on that, that the answer is no. But when people listen and we visit them again and again and maybe are studying with them, um, we talk about more, we discuss with them more delicate issues like Armageddon, or why it seems God doesn't care about us, or where the dead people are, or the coming of Christ. Because the coming of Christ is a really important issue for Jehovah Witnesses. I don't know why you think that's not. It's a really big issue. It's a big red thin line through our belief, because the coming of Christ will make sure of a few things. It will make sure that heaven is clean of demonical and satanical influence. Read Revelation 12 verse 7 through 10. Um, because of the coming of Christ, and because heaven is clean of all demonical and satanical influence, Satan is throwing is Jesus throwing the earth. So Satan is now making the world go upside down in order to turn everybody against God, symbolically and literally ruining this earth. Revelation 12 verse 10 and 12 you can read, and 1 Peter 5 verse 8. And the coming of Christ will restore God's kingdom in heaven and on earth. Read Matthew 6 verse 10. It will give us the peace that God wanted for us, like He gave Adam and Eve. Read Revelation 24 verse 3 and 4. And the coming of Christ will make sure that Satan will be killed. So, very important issue. Revelation 20 verse 10. And it will sanctify God's name in heaven and on earth. Read Ezekiel 35 verse 15. So I hope this will answer your question a little bit. Um, but like I said, it's a very big thing. You need very much knowledge, biblical knowledge, to understand this issue. And it's not an issue that I can discuss in 5 or 10 minutes. How we came to the number 1940, and what prophecies, because there are a lot of prophecies in Revelation that talk about 1914. But maybe you can ask your Jehovah Witness friends to explain more about the 1914 issue, about the prophecies. I hope you respond. Like I said, it's my first video, so a response would be very great. But I hope I helped you with this, and I thank you for watching my video.